have you ever had a gut feeling and questioned whether it was an intuitive warning or simply your pesky anxiety rearing up and spinning out? As an empath, intuitive, and energy sensitive, you might find yourself in this predicament on an almost daily basis, navigating the body's cues and trying to decipher if your spirit is warning you or if your mind is simply trying to keep you safe. So, even if it feels confusing at the time, we can begin to train ourselves to distinguish between intuition and anxiety. Intuition is the voice of your highest good. It's guiding you towards aligned choices. Anxiety, on the other hand, is the mind's attempt to control the outcome in the name of what it believes to be safety. Hi, if we haven't met yet, my name is Anna Stokes, and this is the Clear Channel. It is a show designed to help you strengthen your intuition, clear energetic clutter, and live from a place of inner alignment. This week, we are talking about one of the biggest questions that intuitive clients and students of mine struggle with. And that is this anxiety or is this my intuition trying to warn me? Because even though they might feel similar in the moment, like maybe a racing heart or a tight chest, or you just feel like a vibe is off, they are coming from two very different places. Anxiety is usually fast, loud, and fueled by fear, whereas intuition tends to be calm, clear, and a little quiet. Anxiety often spirals and loops our thought patterns, while intuition tends to land in that space of feeling or knowingness within the core of your being. If you're a sensitive, intuitive person, especially if you've had to be hyper aware of others to stay safe in the past, your nervous system may still be running in high alert mode. And this can make it hard to tell what's coming from intuition or what's coming from fear. And that's okay, because this is something we can all learn to strengthen over time. And a big part of learning is understanding how your intuition actually works. Because here's the thing, not everyone experiences intuition in the same way. If you've watched my other videos, you'll know that I created an intuitive archetype quiz to help you decipher the unique ways that your intuition speaks and how you can live, lead, and align with it. So, how can you tell the difference between intuitive insights or anxious overthinking? Let's break it down by archetype, because your intuitive wiring influences how both anxiety and insight show up for you. If you want to, you can go and quickly take the intuitive archetype quiz for yourself to follow along as I break this down by archetype. Check it out. It's in the link below, and it only takes about 3 minutes to complete, and it's totally free. You can find your archetype and have fun in the process. Okay, so there are 5 main intuitive archetypes. And while we may straddle between 2 of them, we tend to have one that is our primary intuitive archetype. And this signals how we process and interpret and receive our intuitive information. So the 5 types are mystic, grounded, emotional, activator, and healer. All right, first up, the mystic. So for the mystic, anxiety might show up like a question in your space. Like, am I making this up or is that weird? Or spiraling into existential dread after too much alone time. Whereas your intuition often comes through with visions, symbols, dreamlike downloads that really resonate and land. So when it's intuitive, it'll feel like truth. And when it's anxiety, it will tend to spin in a loop. Okay, so for the grounded archetype, anxiety often shows up in the body. We're talking stomach tension, overthinking logistics, needing to have everything figured out. Whereas intuition is a felt sense, a gut level knowing of a full body yes or no. The grounded type often knows what's right before they can even explain it. But anxiety will try to rationalize and override that. Okay, so next up, we have the activator. So for the activator, anxiety can feel like urgency without a whole lot of clarity, like having to do something now or burning out from too many intuitive hits without any real direction. Whereas intuition for the activator feels electric and clear. It sparks action, but from a place of alignment, not panic. When an activator is in sync, the intuitive hits land like thunderbolts. When you're anxious, they scatter like static. All right, the emotional archetype. So anxiety might show up as emotional flooding. This is when you're picking up on everyone else's feelings or getting sudden mood swings with no clear source, and you're just picking up on the energy of everyone around you and the emotion. Whereas intuition often comes as an emotional resonance, like a soft inner wave or emotional shift that carries a message to your body. The key is to slow down enough to ask, is this mine or someone else's? So intuition will feel like compassion and anxiety will feel more like chaos. Okay, so lastly, we have the healer. So anxiety can feel like energetic overload for the healer, taking on everyone else's problems, feeling responsible for fixing everything, whereas intuition is more of a gentle, body-based sense, and it often flows through the hands, the heart, or the awareness of energy field. When it's intuitive, it's clear, it's loving, and when it's anxious, it tends to be draining and heavy. So the difference isn't always super obvious, but it does get easier with practice. And the more you get to know your archetype, the more you will begin to recognize the unique flavor of your intuitive truth. And when fear is trying to distinguish itself as guidance. So before we move on, I would like to invite you to partake in a quick energy practice to help you tap into this a little deeper for yourself. Okay, so let's take a moment to feel the difference together. Go ahead and close your eyes or soften your gaze if you are able. Taking a deep breath in and out. Feeling your feet grounded beneath you and your seat on the chair. Just reconnect with your breath. And now bring to mind a moment when you felt anxious, just lightly recalling it now. It could be from today or the past week, maybe even the past year. Just recall that moment and notice what your body does. Where does your body react to this anxiety? Maybe a fast heart, feeling in your chest, a sense in your head. Just notice that, be with that for a moment. And allow yourself to exhale that out now. Clearing the slate, letting go. You don't have to relive it or be in that energy, but we wanted to gain access to that sensation in the body for a moment. Now bring your mind to a moment when you just knew something, a quiet truth, that inner knowing. Just remember a time where you knew something. And notice where that knowing lives in your body. What does it feel like? That sense of intuitive knowing. That moment when you just knew, when you were fully in touch with your intuition. What did it feel like? Where does it live in your body? The more we get to know these states, the more easily we can tell them apart. So go ahead and take a moment to fill in with a big golden sun full of your energy, your awareness, filling up your body, your aura, your chakras with a big golden sun. Letting that energy fall like a waterfall into your space. Just bringing more of your own spirit essence and energy into your body. Good. And when you're ready, opening your eyes and coming out of meditation. So one of the most helpful things I've ever done for myself and for the intuitive people I work with is to figure out what kind of intuitive I really was and help them figure out what kind of intuitive they were. Because when you understand how your intuition naturally shows up, you can start to spot the difference more quickly between that true inner intuitive guidance versus the anxious mind trying to control. If you're interested in figuring more out for yourself and you haven't yet, go ahead and check out that quiz below. See how you uniquely process your energy so that you can access these deeper truths about your intuition. If you find this is something you struggle with, you can begin to see the patterns, because so often we compare ourselves to others and how we receive guidance and we wonder if we're doing it right. But intuition really is not one size fits all. There are some shared threads and themes. Yes. However, your intuitive wiring is uniquely yours. So learning your archetype can help you begin to trust this and understand it more. Okay, that is all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe if you are enjoying this series. I will see you next week as we continue to explore more ways that we can become a clear channel. Thanks, everybody. Bye.